Good evening, everyone. It's the 9th of January, and tomorrow my wife will experience a birthday. She'll be 71 years old tomorrow, and I may not be broadcasting quite as much tomorrow because I'm going to take her out for a birthday lunch. Happy birthday, Rosette. I want to talk tonight about something that has been kind of a thorn in my side, I would say. It's been a struggle for me for much of my life, and that is the proper role of women in the church. And I'm just going to share openly with people. I received an email from Tom Adams, a very, very nice email from Tom Adams tonight, giving me his position on women in the church, and I think he made a lot of really good points. I explained to Tom that one of the reasons that I've had such a struggle with this issue is not only the feminization of the culture, but also what happened in my own home with my own mother and her circumventing my father's spiritual headship, and I think my father was partly responsible for doing that. So I don't lay it all on my mother. There are numerous passages in the Bible that talk about the involvement of women in the Christian fellowship. We see that with Mary Magdalene. We see that with Mary's, the mother of Jesus. We see that with some of the other women. We see that with Dorcas, the lady with the purple business. We see also women's involvement in the Old Testament. Deborah as a judge. And we see Ruth and the story of her life. And so it seems as though Christ had a very special relationship with these women, especially Mary Magdalene and his mother, of course, commending John to take care of his mother, or asking or telling John to take care of his mother when he was gone. All these things are significant things. And also we see that in the New Testament, Aquila and Priscilla were active in fellowship with other members of the church body. And so my position, even though it's been somewhat stringent, I guess, I'm not trying to justify my position, I'm just trying to explain my position. Part of it has to do with what I've had to contend with in my own family with my own mother. And I probably have overreacted some in regards to this also. When we look around us and see the absolute feminization of the culture, and I've mentioned several things regarding this subject as it relates to the chaplain in the House of Representatives now, the first time we've had a woman chaplain, and I don't even think a chaplain in the House of Representatives is appropriate because I believe in the separation of church and state. But anyway, I just wanted to let Tom know that I value his friendship and his fellowship, and I value Tori and her friendship and her fellowship as well. I hope that we can have reconciliation. And I'm constantly learning. I don't know all things, that's for sure. there's different people that have different positions on the book of Revelation than I have, and I'm listening to them and listening to their positions on these things. And I'm sure I can learn a lot from listening to different people. There are many things about the book of Revelation that I don't understand, and I've been very open about that. And some of the things that I don't understand, I have to ask myself the question, is it just because I've been taught against those things? That's why I'm having this cognitive dissonance. You know, we used to sing a song, Satan will be bound 1,000 years, will have no tempter then, when the Lord's come back to earth again. Well, that's showing that there is going to be 1,000 years there. A lot of people spiritualize that. They say it's not literally 1,000 years. And I really struggle when people start saying this doesn't really mean a literal mark. This doesn't really mean 1,000 years. What this really means is this. When people start trying to explain away the Bible, I really have challenges with it. So that's kind of where I'm at tonight. You know, I think a lot of people are going to be changing their eschatology during the very end times. I know that John said it was the end times back when he wrote 1 John. And by the way, I have listened to Robert Lackey's position on the book of Revelation, and you know, and I think it's a little bit over the top to say that virtually all of prophecy has to do with the evidence after it happens rather than before it happens. I don't totally agree with that premise. I don't think I should be called an antichrist just because I don't agree with Robert Lackey, or I don't think Robert should say he went out from among us because he was not with us. The other day when I left the fellowship, it was because I thought we needed a cooling off period, because I could see emotions heightening a little bit, because we weren't in total agreement with the interpretation of the book of Revelation. It'll be interesting to see how that relationship continues, if there is a relationship there with Mr. Lackey. I plan on continuing to attend their fellowship as long as they don't excommunicate me from their fellowship, which wouldn't surprise me. Oftentimes, if people don't agree on every little point, then they take a hike. And I've been guilty of that myself in the past, and I'm trying to become more sensitive to differences that are not profoundly different. I mean, substantively. I've always made a point that I wasn't going to defellowship people over the difference in eschatology, because Christ said, "No man knoweth the day or the hour of his coming." And so that's kind of been my position on that. As things wind down, and it seems like as I come to the end of my life, I see a little bit more clearly how that the moral decadence in our society seems to be heightening. It makes me more aware of these things. Well, that's what I have on my mind tonight. I desire everyone's prayers, that God will lead and guide and direct. We know that He has ordained all things that have happened, all events in our lives, and He's the only one we can look to for our sustenance. May God bless. God bless. Good night.